I'm going to remember. But, I just want to thank Coach Fick and all the coaching staff, all the training staff, academic staff, and all of our fans who supported us even in our down years, and everyone who came out to this weekend and over this past week to come out, travel to Dallas and support us. I just want to say thank you.
Can I follow that up with just your thoughts on this game, the emotions that you have going through you right now, obviously coming up on the short end of this journey that you guys have been on?
Yeah, obviously that's not how we or anyone would want a game to end is with a loss. So it hurts for us seniors because we can't come back here and do anything and grind with our brothers and try to get at them again next year. But we know that at the end of our seasons, the only thing we can do is learn. So these young guys are going to take it in, watch the film and continue to get better and continue to grow and to continue to be a greater Cincinnati team in the years to come.
Okay, our next question is from Bill Carroll. Bill?
Bill Carroll, Nuts and Bolts Sports. And Desmond, thank you so much for your time. So,
no, he dropped off. All right, our next question, we had a problem there.
Oh, not sure what happened there.
Okay, you're back. Good.
Oh, good. Sorry, once again, Desmond, thank you for your time. What was it about what you got in terms of both pressures and coverage looks that was different from what you'd seen on tape? Or was it exactly what you expected and they just executed so well that it gave you too much trouble?
They didn't do much different on film than we had studied. Their execution, it's one thing to sit there and watch on film and to sit there and draw the twists and stunts that they do on the board and work it out through practice. It's another thing to come down here and play it on a big stage. Our offensive line has done a great job all year, all season, and I'll always thank them and what they've done for me. I think they got beat on a couple ones and made me move up in the pocket, this or that. I had missed a couple completed or easy throws. But it's just different between practice and on film and on the board rather than a live game. But other than that, I think they did their best.
All right, our next question is from Michael Mursky. Michael.
Hey, this question is for Joel DeBlanco. Obviously, an outstanding season this year. Today's loss was a tough one, but how do you see the defense progress in the years to come after you leave the program?
We have a lot of young guys coming up and a lot of guys, a little bit of experience coming back too, and I'm just really excited to see how they grow and see how these players step up that, they've been under us a little bit just with how much seniors and seniority we have on this team right now, but I'm just really looking forward to seeing how these guys grow and develop as leaders and as men. And I was just in the locker room talking to, going through everybody and just telling them that I'm looking forward to seeing them grow and who they become as men and leaders, and seeing ball out in the field, because I love everybody in that locker room, and especially on the defense. All those days of practice, we just go through so much together, and the off seasons, just train together, and so it's truly my brothers, and I want nothing but the best for them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them grow.
Okay, our next question is from Jeremy Roush.
Hey, Jeremy Ralph, Fox 19 in Cincinnati. This is for Desmond. Desmond, I wanted to ask you about something Coach Luke Fickell had said last year at the end of the year, that you were a good team and you needed to get to great. And that was kind of a mission for this season. Desmond, do you feel like this team was great this season? Do you view this as a great season for UC football?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it was a great season, not only for us, but hopefully for our fans and our entire campus and community. It obviously didn't end the way we wanted to. That's going back and playing the champs. And, I'm sure if we played them again next year with the same team, it'd be a different score because, that's our first time playing Alabama. But, that's not an excuse. But, I would definitely say it was a great season. All these guys in the locker room had a ton of fun. With, you want to say, the outside pressure that was put on us. We still won a conference championship, still went undefeated in our regular season. So we're extremely thrilled with where we got at. We obviously wanted it to end differently and win with a national championship. But I mean, for us and coming from Cincinnati, from the American Conference, this is about as good as you can ask for.
All right, our next question will come from Dan Tortora.
This is for Desmond. Desmond, you talk about unfinished business and coming back to this team and have more in the tank. Do you feel like, even though it doesn't end in a national championship, that there is some finished business here as you get set to step forward?
For myself or for the team?
Recording in progress.
For you and for the team.
Yeah, for myself, I feel like for both of them, for the team and myself, the only way is up. I went out on a loss and our team went out on a loss. So the only thing we can do is improve and get better. No one out there, whether myself or offense, defense, special teams, played, exactly perfect and exactly 100%. So until we do that on the biggest stages of our lives, then there's still room for improvement and ways to get better.
Okay, our next question is from Christopher Heidel.
Hi, this is Christopher Heidel from Herb FM Radio in Baltimore. This is a question for both the student athletes. What does it feel like representing the American Conference and showing folks that you don't have to be in those other conferences to be in these big games like you did this afternoon? I know it didn't come out the right way.
Well, I'd say that the path is there. I mean, you just got to go out there and handle your business. Obviously, we would like for it to end differently, but we got here and we kept telling ourselves that we weren't necessarily carrying a flag for everybody else, but ourselves and representing our city and our program. But we did it, and we're just gonna keep fighting.
Yeah, like you said, we weren't carrying the flag for anyone, but ourselves, and you can say the American Conference. We're just grateful to have this opportunity and be able to be in the position where we're at. Like you said, we also wanted it to end differently and wish it could have ended differently. So I'm hoping that there are other so-called group of 5 teams or, teams from any conference that can, make it in the playoffs and show that they could compete with the best of the best.
Okay, we have time for a couple more questions for the student athletes before we start questions for the coach. So the next up for the players is Justin Williams of The Athletic.
Hey, this is for both Des and Joel. Just walking off the field, is it disappointment? Is it pride? Is it a mixture of both? I know it's kind of tough, but in the moment, can you describe what you're feeling there at the end of the game?
Yeah, I would say for myself, it was definitely a mixture of both. It was a little disappointing that we couldn't execute the way that we wanted to. That we couldn't go out there and really play complementary football, as Coach Fickell stated earlier. And then it was joy. It was seeing all those Bearcat fans, seeing all the fans in the stands just who stuck around all the way till the end. Who made the 12, 13, 14-hour journey, or from wherever they were in the United States to come watch us play football. It was just a surreal moment, and I made sure that. I was one of the last ones to leave the field just to, show my support, and my thanks for everyone who came out and everyone who supported us along our journey.
Okay, one more question for the student athletes. Oh, Joel's got it. Okay, sorry. Joel's got to finish his answer. Sorry.
Like Ded said, just a combination of both. Obviously, super disappointed to lose that game. And like he said, not really playing complementary football like we do and like we have all season. But, looking around and being able to look around and see all the Bearcats and people that came and from all over the country and came and supported, it was truly a blessing. And just so thankful that God put us in this position. I really felt like his hand was on us this entire season, just keeping guys safe and protected from injuries and all that. And so I'm just really thankful for the opportunity. And, yeah.
All right, our last question will come from Zachary Braziller of the New York Post.
Guys, there was obviously there's always been a big debate of, whether the group of five school deserves to be in there. What do you think you guys showed tonight when it comes to that debate? In terms of, does the smaller schools deserve a shot?
I think absolutely we do. I know the score was, I don't know what the score was, 20, whatever it was, but I just think that, so many of those plays were just inches away of making the play, or, just a couple missed tackles here and there, and that really cost us. I think we absolutely belonged in this game, but at the end of the day, we just didn't execute like we have all season. And so I definitely think, people can play with the top dogs, and yeah, we're just right there, inches away, but didn't get the job done. So.
Yeah, I definitely think that other schools, and the so-called smaller schools, group of five schools, could, potentially keep making the playoffs as long as, they put together seasons upon seasons. I think that it's not just one season of an undefeated record. You can't go, 2-6 or 2-10 in the season before and then go undefeated and expect to, make it in the college football playoffs. I think it has to be a program that's built up over years and years of just good football and good execution football. And like Joel said, the end of the score was 27-6. There was no fight to stop. We wanted to fight to the end. Our execution just wasn't there on offense. We weren't playing complementary football, so I think the score reflected, a different game. I think any of the teams in America can come out here and play with, anyone they want to, as long as they come out here and execute and play their best ball.
Okay, Desmond, Joel, thanks for joining us. You can go back to the locker room now, and we're going to start with Coach Fickell here in just a moment. Okay, media, please remember to state your name and affiliation before you ask your question for Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell, and we will begin with Tino Bavenzi.
Hey, Coach, obviously this one's a tough one to digest. You said it was gut-wrenching a little bit ago. At the end of the day, you still got to be proud of this group of guys. Like you said, the seniors. What's the message, to them as they end their careers here at Cincinnati?
Well, in the game of life, like sports, it very rarely ends how you envision it. And these guys have done a phenomenal job. There's so much that they've been through, and I mean that for the whole group, especially the seniors. So it is very difficult. It's very tough. But more than anything, I told them I do not want to see them hang their head. I do not want to see any fraction of anything amongst the brotherhood that they've built, because when you get beat like that, there's obviously, at times you start to wonder why, and we've never pointed a finger, and we won't start pointing a finger, and those guys deserve the very best, and it doesn't feel like that right now, but I can't be more proud of a group of guys, and I mean that the whole, but in particular those seniors, for what they've done for us and our program and our community, and for me and my family.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Neil Meyer of the Front Office News.
Hey, Coach Fickell, could you just talk about the excitement around the city of Cincinnati and what it means for the city, even though it fell short? Could you walk us through what it was like this season?
No, it was phenomenal. I mean, last year was a great year, but it was so difficult because, of the situation. And to have the electricity, to have the energy that was back in Nippert Stadium and amongst our campus and within our city, I don't do a great job of recognizing and maybe even stepping back to see some of that. But I took the opportunity there at the beginning of the game to kind of take a peek and to recognize the energy that I say these guys have created and for our football team and our program, but for our community, our city, and our entire state.
Okay, our next question will come from Joe Ellis of the Sideline Sports Network.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on making the playoffs. Tough loss today. How does it feel to start building a legacy? You guys had a great year last year. You came back and did even better this year. I mean, how does it feel to be building something special for Cincinnati in a group of 5?
Well, it doesn't feel great right now, but when we at least have the opportunity to step back here and reflect a little bit more and recognize where it is that we've come from, and I mean that just in the last 5 years, and I mean that with this group of guys. It is. I don't know if I can see it or think about it right now in the midst of this, but I promise you, my wife will make me later tonight try to take a couple deep breaths and recognize where these guys have taken us and what they've done for us.
All right, our next question is from Joe Daneman. Joe, are you there?
I'm sorry, I hit it by accident. Carry on without me.
All right, we're going to go forward to Dan Tortora with a question. Dan.
Coach, you spoke about the upperclassmen and the group of guys that are going to be moving forward. Just what you can.
We lost you there, Dan.
All right, Dan, are you there?
Yeah, Coach, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Just what you can say about you were speaking about the upperclassmen and the importance of this group of guys, just how you want to thank them and what you want to say about what they've done to be a part of what Cincinnati has become in football.
Words can't describe what it is that those guys have mean to me, mean to us, mean to this program. It's really difficult to put into words. They've done so much, and everybody just kind of recognizes the wins, but the reality is they've created an environment, a culture. They've created an atmosphere that is a true family, and we don't, in families we do have, we do have issues, and we do have, ups and downs, but you really recognize it when it doesn't go the way you want it to go, and you really look around that locker room, and there's obviously some heavy hearts, but then you see the love that they have for one another, and sometimes it takes something that doesn't go quite as well for you to kind of step back and recognize just how far these guys have really grown and grown together.
Okay, our next question will come from Justin Williams of The Athletic.
Coach, your time at Cincinnati has kind of been defined by these checkpoints, getting up to the AAC conference championship, losing it, coming back and winning, getting to a New Year's Six bowl game, getting the playoff this year. Does this feel like that right now? You got to another checkpoint, and this is going to be something that can help propel you guys past it next time?
That's the last thing that I reminded them as we broke it down in there is, you don't ever forget the feeling. Just because you work so hard, you got to recognize the things that aren't guaranteed to you, and I don't think you should ever forget the feeling that it's like when you do come up short. And so I know for myself, I know for a lot of the guys in there that are built the same way, this will be an incredible motivation to finding a way to take the next step, and take the next step with a lot of new guys.
All right, we have time for 2 more questions. Next question is from Keith Jenkins.
Keith Jenkins, Cincinnati Enquirer. Coach, you kind of just addressed it a little bit, but guys like Evan Prater, Trey Tucker, Deshaun Pace, these are now the leaders of the program. How do you think this loss will impact them as they're taking the reins?
I hope it does. I hope that they recognize how fragile it is and how hard it is to continue to grow. The motivation is always key to me. And, when you can sit there and see how much it means, not that it doesn't mean as much to them, but how much it means to those guys that are not going to have another opportunity to wear that helmet, put that CPAW on their chest, and go out and represent our program and our team. I hope they don't ever forget what they saw from those guys, because when the times get tough, and they will, in preparation, in games, they'll have to draw upon those things to continue to motivate them.
All right, final question will be from Jeremy Roush.
Hey, Jeremy Ralph, Fox 19 in Cincinnati. Luke, I know you've reflected quite a bit during this press conference. Are you able to reflect on the job you've done at Cincinnati to get here now? And are you able to kind of see where you still want it to go from where you are sitting right now, even after tonight's loss still?
No, I haven't had a chance to reflect, but I know we're not where we want to be. And I continue to reiterate, in order to be a top 10 program, which is what we strive to be, there's got to be consistency. And the consistency in year to year as a program, the consistency on the football field, consistency in everything that we do. And we won't rest, we won't relax until we get to that point. And then when we get to that point, then we'll push to be a top 5 program. So that's probably the best reflection that I've got. I don't know exactly where we are right now, but I know this hurts, and I know that this will be a great motivator as we continue to climb back.
Coach Fickell, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your coverage of the college football playoff at the 86th Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. As a reminder to the media, a full transcript along with video